Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So we have a new Canary Channel Insider preview build for this week, build 27788, which rolled out late yesterday in my part of the world on the 5th of February. So what's new in build 27788? And the first is there's the first inbox public preview of Windows MIDI services. And in case you're wondering what MIDI is all about, MIDI, it stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, and it's been around for decades now. It's been around for a long time, and it's still very popular. And just as an example, it can enable musicians to connect instruments to computers, just as a simple example. And Microsoft describes this new feature, and I'm quoting, as our complete rewrite of MIDI on Windows with a focus on a great experience for musicians and a strong foundation for future expansion and enhancement. And there are a huge number of MIDI related changes. Now, there's a lot to get into, but I'm just going to skim over the highlights for the purpose of this video, so I don't draw this out, and I'm just going to mention these. So it offers the following benefits: full support of the MIDI 2 standard, faster transports, faster USB MIDI driver with full support for both MIDI 1 and MIDI 2. Multiple apps can use a device at the same time, better endpoint and port, in-service scheduling of outgoing time-stamped messages, built-in loopback and app-to-app MIDI, automatic translation between MIDI 1 and MIDI 2, much more device metadata available to applications, better device add, update, remove notifications, and its backwards compatibility. And it's also open source. The MIDI service, they say, is open source. And over and above that, there's also a new USB MIDI 2 class driver, which Microsoft says is provided to them by AMEI, which stands for Association of Musical Electronics Industry of Japan, which is a high-speed USB MIDI driver which works with both the new USB MIDI 2 devices, and they also say as well as with class-compliant USB MIDI 1 devices. And then just a couple of quick mentions regarding the MIDI-related changes. There are also previews of the Windows MIDI services, app SDK and tools. This includes the MIDI Settings app, a desktop application for managing endpoints, renaming endpoints and ports, creating loopback devices, managing your network, MIDI 2 connections, and a whole lot more. I've just skimmed over the highlights, and what I'll actually do is I'll leave the release notes for this update. If you are interested in MIDI or maybe are a musician, I'll leave it linked down below in the description where you can go read up everything. I've just gone over the highlights for the purpose of this video. Then over and above the MIDI services, Microsoft says it's also gradually rolling out the ability to resume working on OneDrive files from your phone, that's iOS and Android, on your Windows 11 PC with a single click. And they mention that with this feature, you will get a notification asking you if you want to pick up where you left off, editing a OneDrive file like a Word doc that you last viewed or edited on your phone within a 5-minute time window preceding unlocking your PC. And they also mention that upon clicking on this notification, the same file that you were viewing or editing previously on your phone will open in your default browser on your PC. And then we get 2 File Explorer improvements. Now, if we just head over to the File Explorer in the stable version, and we head to our options, and by the way, you can see the menu is still going in the wrong way. We're still waiting for a fix for that, but nonetheless, if we head to View and we scroll down to Restore Previous Folder Windows at Logon, Microsoft says when Restore Previous Folder Windows at Logon is enabled in File Explorer, it will also now restore all the extra tabs which were previously open in each File Explorer window, which is currently not the case. So I think that's a nice move in the right direction. And if we just head into our pictures as an example, the Start Backup, this is something I have posted on previously, and I'll leave the video linked for this down below. But Microsoft says it's adding a new option to snooze or turn off the Start Backup reminder in the File Explorer address bar For those that aren't already backing up their documents, pictures, or desktop folders, this option is available when you right-click Start Backup. And as mentioned, I'll leave that video linked down below and in the end screen. It'll give you a lot of extra information. And I think that's a great move just to get rid of the Start Backup. This is something I never use, and I think a lot of folks don't. So I think that would definitely be a step in the right direction. And just to mention the last kind of new change and improvement is Microsoft says it's starting to roll out the settings homepage for commercial customers on PCs managed by an IT administrator. So those, I would say, are the new features. And because we are in the Canary channel, there are fixes, and we've got a good couple of known issues because this is a very early preview version of the Windows 11 operating system. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.